Hi, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Soul Seeds, where my guest expert for today is Rick. And Rick is a personal development coach. And the topic we are going to talk about today is self-sabotage. So, Rick, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And I would love to know, in what ways do we sabotage ourselves?
Okay, this is a very common occurrence and behavior I see with people. I often work with entrepreneurs and small business owners, and I see this often within their business and within it plays out during their life. And what happens is, first of all, what is self-sabotage?
Mhm.
Self-sabotage is when I have a desire or goal, and I consciously or unconsciously, I'm not
Mhm.
working on it.
Right.
For example, I may want to lose weight, but I eat this big piece of cake. I'm aware I'm
Mhm.
eating it. I know it's wrong. I may be having issues in my business, which is very common. I see this frequently,
Mhm.
and where things are not working out. I am just not, the finances are not coming in. I'm having staffing problems. I'm having
Mhm.
issues in the business, either beginning it, growing it, there's all sorts of concerns. And what I do is, what people often do is they turn to more strategy. I need to figure out this business success issue, whatever it is that they're looking at. And what I tell
Right.
people is, when you're looking at the external work of what you're doing, and that's mostly along the lines of strategy, and it's not working, it's
Mhm.
because the internal work is not happening. And this is because something is going on within somebody. What I want to do is I really look at how people are, what their belief systems and what their subconscious programs are. And that's where it's coming from
Mm.
all the
And
time.
yeah, of course, sometimes we're not even aware of it that we're doing it because, like you said, when you want to lose weight, but you eat that piece of cake because you feel like, okay, I deserve this, I had a bad day, and you don't
Right.
even really connect it to that I want to lose weight part or I need to go to the gym part. So how can we change that dialogue?
Well, I think first of all, let's start by becoming aware. When I work with people, I
Hmm.
say, well, what we're going to do is we're going to really get your awareness level and clear on who you are and what you want. Let's start there. And then
Hmm.
I look at basically four areas of your life: your career, your finances, your relationships, and you as a person, physically, mentally, and spiritually.
Hmm.
And then what happens, I said, why don't we look at how you feel and what is showing up in your life? This is
Hmm.
telling us a lot. So the first part is to get very conscious of it. And I've not worked with anyone yet, including myself, that was
Hmm.
aware of how are subconsciously programmed. Now,
Hmm.
why is that important? It's important because 95% of our life is operated that way.
Hmm.
We walk around all day, and most things, or not most, many things are serving us very well, whether it's
Hmm.
driving or taking a shower or just doing daily tasks. We don't think of it, we just do it. And that is
Hmm.
what happens is when this autopilot takes over and the program goes. The problem is it's also sabotaging your work life and your relationship life and every other part of your life. So what
Hmm.
will happen is you will, and this has happened to me, and I had to overcome so many things in my life, because when I'm talking about self-sabotage, I really had I was great at it, and I
Hmm.
don't do that now. First of
Hmm.
all, I became aware of what my belief system were in my programs, and I
Hmm.
changed them and I rewrote them. I rewrote looking at what my thoughts were and my feelings, because my
Hmm.
thoughts are the language of the brain and my feelings are the language of the body. Those were not in alignment.
Hmm.
So my goal is I might want to make 10,000 a month or 100,000 a month or 500 or a million a month. But what happens is I'm not doing that. So
Hmm.
what I look at with each individual, because we're all different, I want to find out where along those lines your set point is. And
Hmm.
that's what often happens. Is what a set point simply is what is your belief system taking you to? For example, when I had a business, I was a real estate investor and I was doing very well, but I couldn't get beyond a certain level.
Hmm.
And I didn't understand why. Because what happened is my program says if you succeed, you can't succeed past this level because you're not worth it.
Hmm.
And what happens is we don't think of it that way. So
Right.
what the beauty is, once we identify it and we
Hmm.
rewrite that program,
Hmm.
and how I do that is the program I have is what I'm talking about. What does that even mean? First, become clear on what it is.
Hmm.
Then we have to look at what your thoughts and your feelings are in that belief system. And then when we find that belief system, we rewire it. How we do it, we become conscious of what it is, and then we change it
Hmm.
through a few techniques and then a practice and a focus on that. And over time, you're going to incorporate what is called neuroplasticity. And that's where
Hmm.
you require, it's going to rewire your mind to new program. First, it's going to kind of it's going to be software. Then we're going to look at making it hardware. And what
Mm,
that means, what automatically you're going to start behaving and thinking and feeling differently. So what happens is the goal that you set
mhm,
is one you're going to be able to achieve.
mm. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's a very, very powerful, and it works.
Mhm,
And I think that what I love to see is I love to see the trend, and I talk about this all the time, is people have a lot of info. You can go on the internet, you're inundated with information. Your
mhm,
email box is full of do this, do that, think this, feel that. And what happens is we get lost in that, and no
mhm,
transformation takes place. And what that simply means is when I work with somebody, I'm not giving you a lot more information. You have enough of that. We're going to actually take that
mhm,
and put that into change of behavior, of thought and feeling. So what happens is your identity becomes different, because until you change your identity and I walk you through exactly what that is, you're going to be operating as the same person.
mhm,
The person who makes $10,000 a month is not the same person who makes 100,000 a month.
mhm.
You can't
Right.
be. That person who has a poor relationship can't have the ideal person in their life if
Mhm.
they're that same person. Because what's
Right.
going to happen is the money and the relationships and all those things are going to come into your life, and you're going to sabotage them. You're going to find a way subconsciously, usually subconsciously, although
Mhm,
sometimes consciously, to walk right past what is exactly trying to show up in your life.
mhm. And what if during that process, when you try to, of course, create that awareness and then try to shift those thoughts, what if your ego comes in and is like, "Whoa, wait a minute. I'm trying to keep you small here."
Well, that's exactly what's going to happen. I already know
Mhm,
that. I see that. It's called resistance. What
mhm,
happens is we're conscious. What I do is I watch for it, because it's going to happen. What happens is as we're creating new programs, when you're faced with a life situation, I actually educate the clients I work with. This is what's
mhm,
going to happen, and let's watch for it. I don't tell them. I just said let's watch for it, and we got to get educated what goes on. You're still going to revolt back to your familiar patterns until your new patterns take
mhm,
hold.
mhm,
So it's going to be a default, and that's okay, because what's happening is you're still in the process of change. I liken it to this: if you, and I used to work in real estate, you would go into a house and you'd see a house and you wanted to, for example, the kitchen. You see a vision in my imagination of what that looks like.
mhm,
But right now, it doesn't look that. It looks pretty ugly. So what do I have to do? I have to dismantle it. I have to
mhm,
destroy the old self. I have to destroy the old kitchen.
mhm,
And in the process, I'm rebuilding it. And as I'm rebuilding it, it's beautiful. It's not there, but
mhm,
I see it taking shape and change. And this is what I educate people about. Let's look at how you're going to think and feel differently. How I know? Let's look at what's happening in your life. What's going to be showing up in your life is going to be different. It's going to
mhm,
be more empowering, and it's going to be more in alignment with your goal. How we know that? Because we're going to be really clear on what that is. So you're going
mhm,
to be moving in the direct, you know what satisfaction is? Moving in the direction of your desire, period.
mhm,
So if I want to be satisfied and happy, and why do I want to be happy? Because all my desires are in on an emotional scale of feeling good. It's that
mhm.
simple.
Right.
What happens is we're not aware of it, and our programs often defeat that.
Mhm. And how important is self-compassion in this entire process?
Well, so I mean, if you're looking at self-compassion, you're looking at that actually ties into worthiness. I really want to
Mm,
examine and look at how do you see yourself?
mhm,
And we don't often know that. And there's some exercises I get into, so you have a high degree of self-awareness of how you perceive yourself. And what happens is, and it's always an issue, it's just by degree, it's
mhm,
always an issue. We're going to change that.
mm,
And we're going to change that to a feeling of worthiness, of higher self-esteem, and we're going to eliminate the doubt. We're going to get rid of a lot of this resistance, which is keeping you from your goals.
mhm,
But the most important part, you're going to become aware of how things are changing until these subconscious programs start taking over.
mm. So you really can go from self-sabotage to self-love.
Absolutely, you can.
Mm.
I've done it.
Mhm.
I was great at self-sabotage. Oh yeah. When I had a business, I could only get so far, couldn't get past it.
Mm,
I mean, I could look at a number of different issues in my life and think that you're just, I'm not worthy. And this isn't, self-love isn't arrogance and it isn't narcissism.
mhm,
We think that if we put too much of it there, we're going to become that. No, you're not.
Mm.
That's a whole different personality style.
Right.
And that actually comes from a feeling of insecurity, not
Exactly.
from a feeling of empowerment
And
and self.
approval.
They're, yeah,
Right.
they're not the same. So yeah, I mean, approval has to start with approving of ourselves.
Exactly.
That's
Well,
where it
thank you
starts.
so much, Rick. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Anybody who would like to contact me, I think it's called myrewiredmind.com. I think we have it printed at the bottom. If you want to contact me, you have any questions, you can go get there some more information. I can give you a free gift if you contact me. I'll be happy to answer any questions. And I think you'll learn something. So I appreciate your time today, and thanks so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you.